Stop scrolling right now. This is not just another message. This is an urgent, highly intentional, and profoundly divine interruption. This is a word sent directly from the very center of my heart, straight into the deepest, most hidden chambers of yours. I, the Lord your God, the Creator of the universe, the one who breathed life into your lungs, have reached down and paused your busy day and your distractions, because I absolutely cannot, and I will not, allow you to pass by this divine appointment. You have been searching. You have been endlessly questioning. You have been crying out in the deafening silence of your empty room, wondering if anyone out there in the vast cosmos is actually listening to your pain. You have been staring up at the sky, wondering if your prayers are just bouncing off the ceiling and falling back down to the floor as empty words. I am here right now, in this exact second, to tell you that I am listening. I have always been listening. I will not let you miss the exact answer I have meticulously prepared for you. Do not treat these words lightly, my beloved child, for they carry the heavy, undeniable weight of eternity, and they hold the blueprint for the absolute transformation of your immediate future. If you choose to walk away now, if you let your flesh or your dwindling attention span convince you to swipe away, you will be walking away from the very sign you long to see. You will forfeit the breakthrough you have been begging me to release over your finances, your health, your mind, and your family. This message is not for everyone. This is not a generalized broadcast to the masses. This is specifically, intimately, and deliberately for you. My eyes have been fixed on you since before the foundations of the earth were laid. I knew your name before you were even formed in your mother's womb, and I will not allow this living word to pass through your feed without it reaching the absolute depths of your weary soul. My beloved child, I know the brutal, exhausting battles you have fought that absolutely no one else has ever seen. I know the nights when you wiped away hot, bitter tears so fast, terrified that someone might walk in and notice you were breaking apart. I know the desperate lengths you have gone to in order to hide your pain from a world that expects you to constantly be strong. I know the agonizing mornings when your alarm went off and you stared blankly at the ceiling, feeling a weight so incredibly heavy on your chest that you could barely pull oxygen into your lungs. I know the mornings when you had to physically force yourself to swing your legs over the edge of the bed and stand up, even when your heart felt completely drained of the strength to keep going. I have watched you go into the bathroom, look at yourself in the mirror with tired, bloodshot eyes, splash cold water on your face, and actively practice the fake smile you were going to wear for the rest of the day. I saw you walk out of your front door and face a demanding world, pretending that everything was perfectly fine, while inside your soul was screaming for just a moment of rest. You have been holding on by the absolute thinnest of threads at times. You have been surviving on fumes. You have whispered prayers into the empty air. Prayers so fragile, so broken, and so steeped in exhaustion that you genuinely feared they were too small or too pathetic for heaven to hear. You thought to yourself, God has bigger problems to deal with than my broken heart. God is too busy running the universe to care about my unpaid bills, my failing relationship, or my daily anxiety. But I tell you right now, with all the authority of heaven, every single whisper has reached my throne room. Every single heavy sigh that escaped your lips in traffic, in the shower, or in the dark, has touched the deepest parts of my heart. You have never, ever gone unnoticed. You are not invisible to me, and you are certainly not forgotten. You are sitting here, looking at this screen, reading or listening to these words in this exact moment, because I intentionally drew you here. I orchestrated the events of your day, the timing of your breaks, and the exact sequence of your actions to ensure you would have this encounter. I arranged this moment because I am about to officially confirm everything you have been feeling, stirring deep inside your spirit over the last few weeks. Your long, grueling season of waiting, striving, pushing, and enduring has not been in vain. I command you, do not ignore this word. Do not let the distractions of this chaotic world pull your eyes away. Do not let the enemy snatch this vital seed of hope from your heart by convincing you that this is just another internet trick. Stay right here. Listen to my voice. Open up the locked doors of your guarded heart, because within the sentences of this message lies the exact answer you have been waiting years to receive. You asked me recently, in a moment of deep frustration, if your intense effort was ever going to be worth it. You looked at how hard you were working, how much you were sacrificing, and you asked me if your endless patience would ever actually bear tangible fruit. You asked me if your grit, your resilience, and your absolute refusal to quit would ever finally lead to a real, visible victory. You asked me if you were just running on a treadmill, exhausting yourself but never actually moving forward. Hear me right now, and let this truth echo in your spirit like thunder. You finally did it, and I am about to pull back the curtain and show you exactly what I have been preparing for you in the shadows all along. My child, hear me with absolute crystal clarity today. You finally did it. You reached the exact place in your spiritual and emotional maturity that I knew you would reach from the very beginning. You pushed through raging, violent storms that the enemy sent specifically to break you, to drown you, to bankrupt you, and to silence your voice forever. But you did not break. You bent, you cried, you bled, but you did not snap. You did not give up, even when every single circumstance around you, and sometimes even the dark voices echoing in your own head, told you it was time to throw in the towel, accept defeat, and walk away. You held on tightly when others walked away from you. You kept putting one foot in front of the other when your physical, emotional, and spiritual strength was completely drained. You stood bravely in the middle of a blazing, fiery furnace, and though you felt the intense heat, though it burned away the things and the people you mistakenly thought you needed, you came out of those flames stronger, purer, wiser, and far more powerful than you were when you walked in. This exact moment you are living in right now is not a cosmic accident. It is not a stroke of random luck or good fortune. It is the hard-earned, fought-for fruit of your relentless patience, your daily hustle, and your unbreakable grit. And I, your Creator, your Father, your God, am so incredibly, overwhelmingly proud of you. I know there were days when you looked at your chaotic circumstances and you honestly thought I was punishing you. You looked at the endless obstacles, the unexpected expenses, the sudden illnesses, the relationship breakdowns, and you thought I was angry with you. You thought you were cursed. You thought you were paying the price for past mistakes. But I tell you the absolute truth today. Every single trial was meticulously shaping you. Every single door that slammed shut in your face was my divine, loving protection, keeping you out of rooms that would have eventually destroyed your peace and stolen your destiny. Every agonizing delay that made you cry out in frustration was my careful, calculated preparation. I was never against you. I have always been fiercely for you. I was building a massive fortress of internal strength inside of you that no human being, no economic crisis, no heartbreak, no rumor, and no enemy could ever infiltrate or steal. I was teaching you how to plant your feet deep into the soil and stand firmly on solid rock when the earth beneath you was shaking and crumbling. I was molding you like raw clay in the hands of a master potter. I was not breaking you to discard you. I was painfully carving out your hidden weaknesses, peeling back the thick layers of your insecurities, and burning away your dependence on human validation so that the radiant, undeniable beauty of your endurance could shine brightly through you. Absolutely nothing you faced in your past was wasted. Not a single second of your pain was without purpose. It was my refining fire. And now, because you stood the test, because you did not curse my name in the darkness, you stand fully ready for the massive, earth-shaking blessing that is coming your way. I want to take you back for a moment. I want you to look back at the timeline of your pain with new eyes. You thought no one cared, but I cared more than you could possibly comprehend. In the moments when you felt the most isolated, the most abandoned, the most utterly alone in a crowded room, I was actively wrapping my arms around you. When you thought you were at your absolute weakest, when your knees buckled under the crushing weight of your daily responsibilities, I was the one carrying you. Every lonely night was deeply, richly filled with my presence, even when your pain was entirely too loud for you to see me or feel me. And every silent, groaning prayer was heard, catalogued, and acted upon, even when the answers seemed incredibly far away. But now, the time has dramatically shifted. The spiritual atmosphere around your life is rapidly changing. The winds are blowing in a new direction. You have reached the summit of this brutal mountain, where I can look at you and say with overwhelming divine joy, you made it, you endured. You remained faithful when it made absolutely no sense to do so. You held tightly to a sliver of hope when it would have been so much easier, so much more logical, to just give in to the heavy, suffocating blanket of despair. You finally did it, and now the specific, massive blessing I have promised you is fully ready to unfold right before your very eyes. If this message is already resonating deep within your spirit, if you feel the chains breaking off your mind as you read this, declare your Amen where all can see, stamping your unwavering faith onto this exact moment in time. My beloved child, I want you to listen closer than you ever have before. Tune out the noise of the world, because I am about to take you on a journey back through the rocky, broken, treacherous road you have walked over these past few years. And as we look back, I will clearly show you that my footprints were right beside yours, and sometimes directly beneath yours, every single step of the way. You have carried a heavy, suffocating, agonizing pain that you never asked for and never wanted to carry. You have felt the sharp breath, stealing, paralyzing sting of betrayal from people you trusted with your whole heart, people you poured your soul into, people you would have stepped in front of a moving train for. You have faced crushing disappointment after crushing disappointment, watching your hopes get built up high, only to be shattered into a million pieces again and again. And in those dark, devastatingly low moments, you looked up at the sky and wondered if I had turned my back on you. You wondered if I had chosen to bless everyone else in the world but you, but I never turned away, not for a fraction of a millisecond. I was right there in the shadows, standing guard over your life, fighting off spiritual enemies you couldn't even see, deflecting attacks you never knew were coming. Even when you thought I was completely and utterly silent, every desperate prayer you prayed in secret, in the shower, in your car, in the middle of a sleepless night, rose before my throne like a sweet-smelling incense. And I never, ever ignored a single one. I saw every moment when you dropped to your knees on the hard floor and cried out, "Lord, why me? Why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? Why is it taking so incredibly long for my situation to change?" And even though my answers seemed maliciously delayed to your human understanding, even though you felt like you were left on red by heaven itself, I was actively listening, and I was fiercely working behind the scenes on your behalf, orchestrating movements in the unseen realm that are about to manifest in your physical reality. I know exactly what it feels like to be abandoned by the very people who once looked you directly in the eyes and promised they would stay forever. I saw the friends who casually walked away when you needed them most, when you had nothing left to offer them. I saw the loved ones who failed to protect you, who took your unconditional love for granted, who used your resources and then discarded you. I heard the voices that once spoke sweet, honeyed words of encouragement to you, but later turned sharp as glass, cutting you down with cruel criticism, malicious gossip, and heavy doubt. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not just go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. My beautiful, resilient child, I saw the deep, bleeding wound that their selfish departure left in your trusting heart. I saw you stand in front of the mirror, analyzing your flaws and questioning your own fundamental worth. I saw you agonizing over every conversation, replaying memories in your head, blaming yourself for things that were absolutely never your fault. I saw how bravely you plastered a smile on your face in front of the world, pretending everything was fine while you cried in silence the second you were alone behind closed doors. I need you to understand this down to the marrow of your bones. Nothing you have gone through has been a waste. The pain was not a penalty. It was a prerequisite for the power you are about to carry. Do you remember the nights when you felt so utterly exhausted, so drained of life, so completely depleted that you just wanted to give up entirely? You sat in the dark, staring at the walls, and whispered words of surrender that you thought no one would ever hear. You said, "I cannot do this anymore. I am done." But I heard them. You thought you were speaking into a vast, uncaring, empty void. But those desperate whispers reached the very center of my throne room. Not one single cry escaped my divine notice. Even when you felt entirely numb, even when the pain was so heavy and suffocating that you couldn't even form words, and simply sat in silence, staring blankly at the wall, I knew exactly what was breaking your heart. I knew the deep, agonizing questions you didn't even have the physical or mental strength to ask. You thought no one on earth truly saw you, but I saw you perfectly. You thought you were forgotten by the world, discarded by society, but I never took my eyes off you. There were days when the door slammed completely and violently shut right in your face. Opportunities you were absolutely certain would change everything for you. Opportunities you prayed for, fasted for, and worked so incredibly hard for, suddenly slipped out of your hands like dry sand. People you relied on told you no when you were absolutely certain. They would say yes, detailed plans you worked so hard to build, putting your blood, sweat, and tears into them, crumbled into dust before your very eyes. You felt like you were running on a treadmill on the highest incline, exhausting yourself, sweating, bleeding, but going backward instead of forward. You asked me, with hot tears in your eyes, why it seemed like everyone else around you was moving ahead. You watched them getting married, getting promoted, buying homes, finding happiness, going on vacations, while you were stuck in the exact same painful, endless cycle. My child, I need you to stop right now, take a deep breath, and let this absolute truth wash over you. Those delays were not denials. I repeat, so your spirit hears it loud and clear. Those delays were not denials. I was not holding you back to punish you for your past mistakes. I was not holding you back to hurt you. I was holding you back to prepare you. Listen to me with your spiritual ears. If I had opened those specific doors too soon, you would not have had the spiritual maturity, the emotional capacity, or the wisdom to walk through them and sustain the blessing. If I had given you what you asked for at that exact moment, the sheer weight of it would have crushed you. It would not have blessed you. The people you desperately wanted to be with would have drained your anointing. The position you cried over not getting would have absolutely destroyed your peace and pulled you away from your true calling. I loved you far too much to let you step into something before it was the exact right time. My timing is not designed to torture you. It is designed to protect you and maximize your harvest. And the betrayals, I know you felt them deeply, like a knife twisting in your back. You trusted people who recklessly and carelessly broke that trust. You gave your pure love, your fierce loyalty, your precious time, and your hard-earned resources. And in return, you received hidden wounds, lies, manipulation, and deafening silence. You thought to yourself, if the people closest to me, the people who claim to love me, can betray me so easily, how can I ever trust anyone again in my entire life? I saw how incredibly hard it became for you to open your heart again. I saw how the spirit of fear tried to build massive, impenetrable stone walls around you to keep everyone out, convincing you that isolation was the only way to stay safe. But listen to me. Even in that excruciating pain, I was working. Even in that brutal betrayal, I was protecting your future. Some people absolutely had to leave your life. I allowed them to walk away. I allowed them to expose their true colors, no matter how much it ripped your heart out, because their presence in your future would have poisoned the massive harvest I am preparing for you right now. They could not go where I am taking you. Their mindset, their hidden toxicity, their secret jealousy, their lack of vision would have sabotaged your destiny. I know you didn't understand it when you were crying over their departure, begging me to bring them back. But very soon, you will look back and thank me on your knees that they left. You will see exactly why it had to happen. You will realize that my rejection was actually your divine redirection. You also wrestled deeply with doubt. You doubted your own abilities. You doubted your future. You doubted your worth, wondering if you were fundamentally unlovable or broken. And yes, my child, you even doubted me. You looked up at the sky in your darkest moments and asked, God, are you even real? Do you still hear me? Have you moved on from me? Have you forgotten my address? Are you punishing me for something I did years ago? I want you to know today that I never ever condemned you for those questions. I never turned my face away in anger because of your moments of human weakness. I completely understood your doubt because I saw the crushing weight of burden you were carrying. I knew the boulders sitting on your shoulders were far too heavy for a human being to carry alone. And in those specific moments of deep, dark, terrifying doubt, I actually stayed closer to you than you ever realized. I did not let you fall apart completely when your heart wanted to literally stop beating from the stress. I kept it beating. When your mind was pushed to the absolute edge and felt like it was going to break under the immense, suffocating pressure of life, I was the unseen glue holding your sanity together. I gave you just enough daily manna, just enough supernatural strength to keep moving forward, taking one single breath at a time, surviving 1 hour at a time, even when you thought you couldn't take another step. My beloved, I also know the secret toxic shame you carried. The dark moments when you looked at your life, compared it to others, and thought, maybe I am the problem. Maybe I am the reason nothing is working out. Maybe I am just a fundamental failure. Maybe I am cursed. I command those demonic lies to leave your mind right now. I declare over you today, by the power of my own name, you are not a failure. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not a mistake. You are not cursed. Every single delay, every painfully closed door, every broken relationship, every lonely tear-soaked night was a necessary calculated tool in my hand, shaping you into the powerful, resilient, compassionate, empathetic person you are today. You looked in the mirror and thought you were weak, but I looked at you from the throne room of heaven and saw a warrior's strength. You thought you were falling apart, but I saw unbreakable resilience forming in your spirit. You thought you were being overlooked by the world, but I was obsessively watching over you every single second of your life. Do you remember those times when you went out into the world and smiled in front of everyone, being the strong one for your friends, being the unshakable rock for your family, being the reliable one at work? But the exact moment you walked through your front door and locked it behind you, you collapsed on the floor in absolute exhaustion. Your soul was aching with profound, heavy questions that you couldn't even organize into coherent words. Every morning you woke up after a night, you were absolutely convinced you wouldn't survive. That was my hand lifting your head. Every time you surprised yourself by laughing out loud again after long, brutal, grey seasons of sadness. That was my divine joy returning to your spirit, reminding you that winter does not last forever and spring is inevitable. You stayed at your post while others slept. You kept watch for a light you could not see yet. You stood on the high ground while the rain hit you, and you did not move. That season of waiting is done. Your restoration begins today. The hard work you did in the trenches has become the water that softens the soil for what comes next. Every time you held up your shield, you were strengthening a life that will soon support many people. I have taken the broken metal of your past and forged a plow. It is ready to turn the heavy ground where your future has been waiting. Now, I am telling you to move. Do not just watch your circumstances. Give a portion of your provision and sow a seed into my kingdom. Treat this gift like a sharp arrow shot into the camp of poverty. This is not a suggestion. It is a command to move forward and take back what was taken from you. By giving your substance, you are placing heavy grain into my kingdom. This act breaks the siege over your home, and your family watch the sky. The rain is coming to your fields. It will soak the dry places and make your work grow past the old boundary lines. Every move made against your progress will fail because I am standing over the harvest you provided. The clearing is finished. The fortress is built and the gate is open. Walk through it with the steady step of a man who has won the fight. Today, the victory is yours. Listen to me, my child, and let this sink in. Absolutely nothing you went through escaped my sight. Not the quiet, suffocating moments of despair, not the loud, agonizing cries of physical or emotional pain, not the hot, burning anger you felt when life seemed fundamentally unfair and unjust. I carried all of it right alongside you. I held your hand tightly through the hurricane, even when your spiritual senses were too numb to feel my grip. I carried you on my back when your legs were too tired, too bruised, and too broken to walk. I whispered ancient, eternal truths to your heart. When your physical ears could not hear my voice over the deafening screaming of your circumstances, you convinced yourself that you were forgotten, a mere afterthought in the grand scheme of the universe. But your name has always been deeply engraved on the palms of my hands. You thought you were invisible to the world, but you have always been the absolute apple of my eye, entirely in my sight, fiercely protected by my angels. Now, hear this undeniable truth, and let it sink deep into the marrow of your bones, down to a cellular level. You were never unseen. You were never forgotten. You were never abandoned. You were never unloved. I was with you in the blazing, consuming fire. I was with you in the violent, raging storm. I was with you in the deafening, terrifying silence. And every prayer you ever prayed, I heard it. Every tear you ever cried, I caught it in a bottle. Every question you ever asked, I listened intently. You are my precious chosen child, and I have been walking beside you all along, even when you couldn't see my footprints. You have carried the massive, crushing weight of years of waiting. You have carried the heavy burden of disappointments that seemed to loop endlessly like a broken record. You have held on to fragile dreams that felt like they were slowly fading into grey smoke. But all of it was seen, all of it was known, and all of it is right now, in this very specific hour of human history, being redeemed. The pain you endured will not go unrewarded. The tears you cried are actively, right now, watering the spiritual ground where your massive generational blessing is about to burst forth and grow. The prayers you whispered in sheer desperation are about to return to you loudly as undeniable physical testimonies of my faithfulness. I never left you. I never turned away, and I never, ever will. My beloved, let the volume of this truth be infinitely louder than the volume of your darkest doubts. You were never unseen. You were never forgotten. And you were never, ever unloved. Everything you endured has brought you exactly here, to this very specific moment in time, reading this very specific message. And now the page is officially turning. The narrative is flipping. You are about to see the magnificent, mind-blowing reward of your patience, your endurance, and your unyielding faith. My beloved child, sit up, clear your mind, and listen carefully now, for I am stepping into your atmosphere and declaring something entirely new over your life. The waiting season you have carried on your back for so long has finally, officially, and permanently come to an end. The heavy, suffocating weight of delay, the endless, maddening cycle of not yet, maybe later, and almost has finally been lifted off your shoulders by my sovereign command. You have walked through agonizing years where it felt like absolutely nothing was moving. Years where every step forward seemed infinitely harder than the one before, like walking through thick mud. Years where your hope was stretched so incredibly thin, like a rubber band about to snap, that you wondered if your spirit would just break in half and never recover. But right now, I say to you, with all the sovereign authority of heaven and earth, with the voice that spoke galaxies into existence, the chapter is permanently closed. The ink is dry. The book is shut on that season. The season of waiting has finished. You have crossed the threshold into the glorious season of fulfillment. I am the God who opens doors that no human being, no economy, no hater, no corrupt boss, and no demon can ever shut. And I tell you today, right in this moment, I have opened a massive, unprecedented door for you. This door was not created by human hands, and it cannot be manipulated by human politics. No power on earth, or below it, can push it closed. This door is not the result of random luck, good timing, or mere coincidence. It is the direct, intentional, miraculous work of my own hand. I carved this specific door into the timeline of your story before you were even formed in your mother's womb. And now, the appointed time has arrived, and I have swung it wide open for you to walk through. For every single door that was violently slammed shut in your face, causing you to weep in rejection, for every golden opportunity that slipped through your fingers just when you thought you had it, for every fair chance that was stolen from you by unjust delay or deceitful people. I am right now replacing it with a door of monumental favor that no one can ever take away from you. You do not need to push your weight against it. You do not need to hustle, grind, and burn yourself out to open it. You do not need to beg man for permission to enter, nor compromise your morals to get a seat at the table. I have already unlocked it with my own supreme authority, and I stand here on the other side, extending my hand, inviting you to step through it with absolute boldness and unwavering confidence. You are going to see victory now, and it will not be a private, hidden thing. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a small thing. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community. By doing so, you become part of a plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. No one around you will be able to deny what I am doing in your life. For a very long time, your victories were quiet. They were internal. They were unseen by others, known only in the deepest parts of your heart and in my private presence. But now, I am going to make your triumph highly visible. Those who doubted your potential will see it clearly. Those who questioned your faith, who mocked your prayers, who thought you were crazy for believing, will see it. Those who secretly or openly thought you would never rise from the ashes will be forced to witness the undeniable testimony of my hand upon your life. They will watch in awe as I prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies. I am not just answering your prayers by giving you things. I am making your entire life a living, breathing, walking testimony of what happens when a child of mine absolutely refuses to give up. Do you remember the times you sat quietly, watching others celebrate their victories, watching others post their highlights? And you whispered to yourself, Lord, when will it be my turn? When do I get to be happy? When do I get to exhale? My beloved, hear me shout this from the heavens. This is your turn. This is your moment. The door that I have opened for you is not a small, insignificant opening. It is great. It is not weak. It is ironclad and strong. And the blessings that are about to flow through it, like a rushing river, will not be temporary. Fleeting moments of relief, but lasting generational shifts that will alter your family's bloodline forever. I am releasing breakthroughs from my heavenly storehouses that no enemy can ever snatch from your hands. I am actively restoring the years that the locusts ate, the years that felt stolen by depression, by bad relationships, by poor health, by toxic jobs, and by bad decisions. I am miraculously multiplying what was once broken, depleted, and insufficient. And I am going to do it in such a miraculous, overwhelming, statistically impossible way that absolutely everyone who knows you will have to admit that it could only have been me. Your resume didn't do it. Your human connections didn't do it. Your background didn't do it. Your bank account didn't do it. My unmerited favor did it. You have waited so incredibly long, but now the waiting is over. You have sown seeds in the hard, rocky soil of sorrow, watering them daily with bitter, salty tears. But now you are about to reap a massive harvest with shouts of uncontrollable joy. You endured the deafening, maddening silence of the wilderness. But now your ears will hear the loud, jubilant songs of celebration. You stood firm in faith when there was absolutely zero physical evidence that anything was changing. You believed in the dark what I told you in the light. And because of that unshakable faith, I am now going to flood your life with evidence so undeniable, so overwhelming, that you will have no choice but to drop to your knees, lift your hands, and weep in sheer awe of my goodness. What I am doing in this new season will not only bless you abundantly, but it will also permanently silence the demonic lies that tried to haunt your mind in the dark. every dark voice that whispered you were forgotten, every thought that told you your best days were behind you, every lie that said you missed your chance will be instantly silenced by the blinding proof of my faithfulness manifesting in your daily life. My beloved child, I command you, step forward. Do not hesitate at the threshold of this door. Do not let the familiar comfort of your past trauma hold you back from your future glory. Do not let the fear of success paralyze your feet now. Do not sabotage what I am doing because you feel unworthy. You have been meticulously prepared for this exact moment. You have been refined in the fire of affliction for this specific season. You have been strengthened in the gym of adversity to carry the massive weight of this new door. You are not too late. Your biological clock, your timeline, your age, your past mistakes, they mean absolutely nothing to my supernatural acceleration. When I say it is time, I can accomplish in one day what would take a human 10 years. And you are not unworthy. This is not a trick. This is not a cruel test to see if you will fail. It is my pure, unconditional fatherly gift to you. The very things you prayed for, the deeply personal desires you whispered to me, the ancient promises you held on to when every single logical fact around you screamed, "Give up." They are right now unfolding, materializing and manifesting before your very eyes. If you are choosing to press forward, if you are actively leaving the heavy baggage of your past behind, declare boldly, "I choose faith over fear," where all can see, making a public spiritual covenant with your new season. I tell you again, so your spirit fully digests it and your mind believes it. The waiting season has ended. I am bringing forth lush, green, abundant fruit where the ground of your life once seemed completely barren, cracked, and dead. I am shining a blinding light into the dark corners of your mind and life that were once covered in terrifying shadows. I am filling the empty, hollow spaces of your heart, your home, and your bank account with blessings that will overflow the cup I have given you. This is your ultimate turning point. This is the exact moment where the plot of your life twists beautifully and everything begins to change for the better. And from this day forward, your biography will not be defined by the pain of waiting, but by the magnificent glory of fulfillment. So rejoice, my beautiful child, lift your heavy head, stand tall, roll your shoulders back, wipe your tears, walk with the bold confidence of royalty, knowing who your Father is. For I have opened the door that no man can shut, and I have declared absolute irreversible victory over your life. It will be visible, it will be undeniable, and it will be everlasting. You have finally, after all the blood, sweat, and tears, stepped into the season you have been praying for. And there is no demon in hell, no person on earth, and no mistake in your past that can stop what I am about to do. My beloved child, now that you have crossed the threshold into this brand new, unprecedented season, I want you to open your spiritual eyes and see clearly the specific, magnificent rewards I have prepared for you. The long nights staring at the ceiling, the lonely prayers, the invisible battles you fought in your mind, the superhuman patience you carried, and the raw grit you refused to lose. I promise you, none of it was wasted. Every single agonizing moment has led to this massive release. And now, I, the Lord your God, the creator of the cosmos, am pouring out distinct, powerful blessings that will cover absolutely every single sector of your life. These blessings are not small tokens. They are not temporary fixes. They are not fleeting emotions that disappear when the sun goes down or when a bill arrives in the mail. They are lasting. They are overflowing. They are complete. First, I am giving you peace, not the fragile, temporary, circumstantial peace that this chaotic world offers, which disappears the moment bad news arrives on your doorstep. I am giving you my peace, a supernatural peace that completely surpasses all human understanding. A peace the world cannot give, and therefore a peace the world, the economy, or your enemies can never, ever take away. This profound peace will calm your constantly racing, restless heart. It will act as a muzzle, silencing the deafening noise of anxiety, panic, and fear in your mind. You once lay awake night after night, your mind spinning like a motor, worried sick about tomorrow, anxious about what emergency would come next, creating worst-case scenarios in your head until you were physically sick. But now, my peace will act as a heavy, comforting blanket, allowing you to finally rest. You will sleep deeply again. It will guard your mind like an heavily armed shield, where mental confusion and brain fog once ruled your days. Sharp divine clarity will now guide your decisions. Where fear once whispered paralyzing lies, the courage of a lion will now rise up inside your chest. My peace will be the unbreakable concrete foundation that keeps your house steady, no matter what economic or social storms try to rage outside your windows. Second, I am bringing undeniable, miraculous provision into your life. The dark days when you painfully struggled just to make ends meet, when you stared at bills and wondered if there would ever be enough, when you counted every penny you had at the grocery store and found it severely lacking, those days are being permanently replaced with my divine abundance. I provided daily manna in the barren, lifeless wilderness for my people, and I will miraculously provide for you in your current economy. I took 5 loaves of bread and 2 small fish and multiplied them to feed thousands, and I will mathematically defy the odds to multiply whatever small resource is in your hands right now. Do not fear lack anymore. Evict the poverty mindset from your spirit. For I am Jehovah Jireh, your ultimate, unfailing provider. I will supply all your needs according to my infinite riches in glory, and I will shock you with financial and material blessings you never even thought to ask for. Provision will flow into your life in such unexpected, miraculous ways, through open doors, sudden opportunities, raises, cancelled debts, and unforeseen favor, that you will know without a shadow of a doubt it was my hand moving the pieces on the board. Third, complete holistic restoration is coming to your house. What you lost in the fire, what was stolen by the enemy, what was broken by the careless hands of others, what you gave away because you didn't know your worth, I will restore it all. I am going to restore profound joy to the very rooms where sorrow tried to build a permanent residence. I am going to restore and heal relationships that were deeply wounded, bringing miraculous reconciliation and healing to family dynamics and friendships you thought were dead and could never be whole again. I will restore the vital energy, the passion, and the strength of your spirit where life, stress, and trauma once drained it dry. Hear me. Absolutely nothing in your life is too broken for me to rebuild. No situation is too lost for me to redeem. The years that you cried over, thinking they were totally wasted on the wrong people, the wrong jobs, or the wrong paths, are not wasted at all. I am the Lord of time, and I will miraculously redeem those years. You will soon look back and see how even your most agonizing, difficult, seemingly pointless seasons were perfectly setting the stage for a much greater glory that you could not have handled without that specific pain. Fourth, supernatural healing will be your daily portion. Healing for your physical body, healing for your exhausted, traumatized mind, healing for your battered, bruised, bleeding heart. Every emotional scar you carry from your childhood, every pain that still triggers you, every dark memory that still brings tears to your eyes and makes your chest tight. I am gently touching them right now with my warm, healing hand. I am the great physician, the ultimate healer, who meticulously binds the wounds of the broken-hearted and makes them entirely whole again. Where chronic sickness, pain, or fatigue tried to rob you of your daily strength, I will bring total cellular renewal. Where deep-seated anxiety, panic attacks, and depression tried to steal your light and convince you to give up, I will bring a permanent, unshakable calmness. Where heavy grief tried to anchor you to the bottom of the ocean, I will lift you up to the surface to breathe the fresh air again. Healing will flow like a rushing river through every vein, every synapse, and every pathway of your life. And you will walk lighter, sleep deeper, breathe freer, and live stronger than you ever have before. If your spirit bears witness to this ultimate truth, if you are ready to drop the heavy baggage of your past and sprint into the massive blessing of your future, declare a bold Amen below, where the whole world can see it, stamping your final signature on this divine contract. And if my words have poured healing oil over your wounds today, send this message to someone else in your contacts who is secretly trapped in the dark. Be the vessel of my rescue for them today, and watch how I miraculously multiply the blessing in your own life. Welcome to your new season. We run on viewer support only. For exclusive member-only content, scan the QR or see the pinned comment. God bless you. Do not let this sacred moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. If you desire to deepen your connection, join Archangel Michael's inner circle immediately through the exclusive link in the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community. This is how you guarantee you never miss the direct, personalized messages that are specifically meant to elevate and empower your life. But your presence, attention, and energy already mean the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.